What's going on, people? It's your boy Theo here, and this is a real talk. And this is probably going to be one of the most realist videos that I've ever done. I'm here to talk about Jason Arday. Excuse me. He is a Cambridge professor that has come under so much scrutiny over the last few days. And there's been YouTube videos and there's been articles that's been going down. I didn't even know what was going on until yesterday when I found out that he has passed away at the age of 41. I was shocked and angered about what's happened. Over the last 24 hours or so, I've begun to really understand what was going on in terms of his story and what happened. The center of it all is plagiarism. Listen, I have been to university myself. Plagiarism is not something to be played with. Plagiarism is something that's frowned upon, and plagiarism is something that needs to be taken very, very, very seriously. Doesn't matter if you happen to be a professor or you're a student. It doesn't matter. It's a lot. But what happened was that I think Jason Arday embellished his credentials a little bit, probably too much maybe. But then when it came to the university having to put towards him what was going on with him and everything, and then the media got wind of it, and since then it has been turned into something just plain old ugly. And it has hallmarks of Caroline Flack's death. Caroline Flack was subjected to bullying, immense bullying and immense hounding. And all she needed to do was basically sort out herself, and maybe she would have still been here with us. I always liked Caroline Flack, by the way. It's sad that she's gone. And it's sad now that Jason Arday is now gone. My thoughts go to his family. When I look about this, and this is actually coming from me, I've gone through mental health situations myself, and it's not been easy for me. I've had to live through being on my own with my own thoughts, and it got me like I was in low moods. I was not myself. I made mistakes at work and all that stuff. It, like, honestly, I didn't like who I was, but I was there. But the thoughts of me having to, do something to myself never came to me. It never did. Luckily, I actually sought help, and I got counseling, which I'm still undergoing right now. I've got friends, like people that cared about me and kept in touch with me and checked in on me, and that was the most important thing. Of course, I have my family, such as my mother, my brother, and yeah, like, obviously, when it comes to black men, and especially black men around my age, when stuff like this happens, what you want to do is you want to give them the best help possible. This is to do with the fact that, yes, he has plagiarized his credentials and everything, right? But could it been handled better? Yes, it could have been. The media did not do themselves justice here. And I know that there's racial undertones here and everything else, which I am angry about. Because if this was a white professor, this wouldn't be a situation at all. What we got here is a guy that needed some help. And I don't know what led him to get him into those kind of thoughts, but I can understand where he was coming from. He must have been at a very, very, very low point for him to get to that point where everything just came around him. Everything just felt like everything was on top of him. I can understand how that feels because I know what that feels like. Listen, doing this video is emotional enough, but I'll tell you this though. I'm lucky because as I said before, I've got people on my side. People that do care about me, people who want to see me happy, people who want to see me succeed in life no matter what happens. And that will be the case. But for Jason Arday, listen, I don't know what's true and what isn't true in terms of his credentials, but he made it to university. Listen, nobody, like, people have done things like, put white lies on CVs and all that stuff, and they end up being in managerial positions and directors and all sorts. It does happen. Let's be honest, it does happen. But yeah, for Jason's case, wow, you know. So I'm reaching out to guys who are going through mental health situations. It doesn't matter if you have a loss of job, loss of relationships, grieving over a loved one. Listen, it doesn't matter. The two things that you need is getting help and getting the right people around you to actually get you through these situations. Now, I know that Jason had his children and all that, and I understand that it is going to be traumatic for them. I just learned that the media at the moment are trying to find his family to try and get any word on the situation or whatever. And I feel like that's just a really despicable thing to do. Give them time to process things, give them time to mourn, give them time to grieve. The media has a way of doing this thing where they want to try and get the story as by any means necessary. And there's journalists that I do respect, and there's journalists that I don't respect. At the end of the day, some people just don't care because they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's a job. It's their job to be thick-skinned. It's their job to try and play devil's advocate. It's their job to be unbiased as they possibly can." But they don't understand the human element when it comes to making these stories. Yes, we want to be able to hear the stories that we all care about and everything else, but they need to do things in the right way. I feel sorry for his family right now. For any guy that's going through this sort of thing, even women go through all this stuff. Like let's be real. Even women go through this. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. Mental health affects everybody, but in this case, it's men's mental health. I even just done a men's mental health event yesterday. I was part of it, and what was said in that meeting as well was enlightening, and it's kind of got me to think about all this stuff what I'm going through and everything, and I'm trying to get myself into a much better space in terms of how to move forward in my life. So I want to leave it there. I just can't believe what's happened. I'm angry, but yet emotional about what's happened. And yeah, it's just a sad situation on all accounts. This thing should have never happened. It should have never escalated to like this. Sorry, that was my door. It should have never escalated to like this at all. This is a sad situation. That's what I got to say, people. I'm out. Thanks for listening. Peace.